Hi, welcome to the basics of ladder safety. We're going to start by demonstrating a safe way to use the A-frame ladder and the extension ladders. We're going to start over here on the A-frame ladder. Just some general principles to keep in mind. When you're setting up the A-frame ladder, you want to make sure that the side hinges are extended all the way. That way it's not gonna fold up on you while you're trying to climb it. So make sure those are fully engaged. Secondly, you want to make sure that all 4 feet are touching the ground and are on a solid surface before you climb the ladder. So now that we have it set up solid, we're going to climb it. Anytime you're climbing a ladder, you want to try to maintain at least 3 points of contact with the ladder. So at least one hand and 2 feet, or 2 hands and 1 feet as you're going up. Make sure that you're safe at all times. You'll see here on the ladder there's a warning label. You do not stand at or above this rung right here. So keep that in mind and abide by that. If you're on the inside of a home and you're not using the ladder, make sure it's A-framed out. You don't want to lean it up against a wall or something on the inside where it could get knocked over and cause damage. On to the extension ladder. Here we have a 24-foot ladder. It's got the leg levelers. Got this standoff crossbar there where the standoffs go. The most important thing in using the 24-foot ladder is to make sure that you have it placed properly. What I mean by that is you don't want to have the angle where it's too steep up and down, to where you feel like you're going straight up. On the flip side of that, you don't want to have it too shallow to where the feet could slip out from under you. So that's too shallow, it's dangerous, feet could slip out. A good way to test is to put your feet at the feet of the ladder and reach your arms out straight in front of you. You should be able to touch the rung that's directly in front of you. If you can't reach it, the angle is too much. Or if you reach past it. So this is an example of an unsafe ladder placement. These feet could slip right out from underneath you once you get towards the top of that ladder. So we're going to reposition it into a good, safe climbing position. Set my feet. Boom, perfectly reach the rung in front of me. It's a good angle. Now we can climb the ladder. Once you start climbing, kind of bounce up and down a little bit. Make sure that the ground is solid. Make sure you're not on a slippery surface or a loose, like mulch or something where the feet could slip out. So give it a little bounce. Make sure everything's solid before you continue on to the top. Occasionally you'll need to use this ladder on the inside of the house. There's a few things to remember if you do need to take it inside. Number one, have someone spot you with the ladder to make sure that as you're carrying it, you're not going to run into any walls or any lamps or anything like that. Second thing, never, ever, ever put the ladder on a rug. A rug will slip out so fast and you'll just come crashing down. So never ever set it on, under any circumstances, set this ladder on a rug. You want to make sure you have a good, solid foundation before you climb the ladder. A couple more things we can demonstrate. The leg levelers, if the ground is sloped, these are going to level it off. See, they move independently of one another. So once you get to the ladder, you're going to bounce it up and down a few times to make sure that it's level, and then it'll be safe for climbing. The other thing we can demonstrate real quick is the standoffs. These are just going to fit right in here. Take the locking pin out, slide it in. There's different settings for different widths. Usually default setting is going to be the narrowest width. I'll just stick the locking pin in. Make sure it's locked out. Don't ever use anything other than the official locking pin to try to hold that in. I like to put them in from the top versus trying to put it in from the bottom. If you put it in from the top, you have gravity on your side. So even if this were to come undone, gravity would still hold this pin from falling out. Another cool feature of these standoffs, if you need to be further away from the window you're working at, you can actually flip this around, remove that locking pin, take off the paddle, and actually place it in the opposite direction. Replace the clip, and now you have a standoff that is going to put you much further back from the window. So that comes in handy in certain situations as well. So to recap, make sure you keep 3 points of contact with the ladder. Don't climb higher than you're supposed to. You watch for the warning stickers on the ladder and don't go above those rungs. Watch your landscaping. Make sure that the foundation, the ground that you're putting the ladder on is solid. Make sure that your ladders are level and at the proper angle. And when working inside, have a spotter and make sure that you never ever place the ladder on a rug. So keep those general principles in mind and you'll be safe working on ladders.